Hi, Mike Kennedy with you. Alone. I've done a lot of videos about my impression from different episodes and things. So we have the regular Alone that is usually uh, filmed in Canada. I mean, they have gone other places too, like Patagonia and places like that. But there are two new versions of Alone in different countries, okay? There's Alone UK, United Kingdom, and then there's Alone Australia. I'm smiling is because the Alone Australia one, now you can watch both of these I'm mentioning on the History app right now, okay? And sometimes being able to watch them is tied to a cable subscription. I'm not sure if you can, uh, set up the History app without saying you don't have cable and still watch the shows or not. I don't know how that works, but you could try it. But so anyway, uh, the one in Australia is kind of, comical in a way. They just appear to pick, uh, I forget whether they picked 8 or 10 people, but they picked these people that seem to have virtually no experience at all. One of them's a military guy and different things. So, and one of them's a uh, natural food person. One does kind of a wildlife management type thing. So they drop them in Tasmania and tell them that they can't use a bow and arrow. They can eat uh, a wallaby if they hit it with a club, but they can't put a snare up. But there's all of these things they outlaw, which makes it extremely difficult. Although they do get a compass. So basically, uh, like I say, it's unfortunately humorous rather than having that sense of, oh, how are they going to survive? How are they going to do this and everything? So you can watch those. Now, and I guess there's a second season, but you can watch it on Daily Motion, but I haven't, for some reason, I can't get that to cast to my Roku device. There's a conflict there of some sort, but I'll try to figure it out because my wife and I watch these. And so, but Australia, UK, they take a number of people. They don't kind of let you know what the experience level is with a lot of the people. They throw them up into northern Canada and uh, they have to survive. And I got like one woman who's uh, was a fashion model or in the fashion industry at least still. And, they have all these other people. And, there are a few that as you go on, where it's getting closer to the end, they talk about some of the experiences they've had in the past that would very well prepare them for doing this journey. Like one person walked to the North Pole. Now that seems to be a person who could live in the cold. It doesn't. There's only 6 shows, and it doesn't last that long. I don't think it gets up to day 40, but you have this people going out for different reasons, and people that have expended way too many calories building their home that they're going to live in because being afraid of bear, so trying to make something sturdy so that bear can't just walk in easily. They've got an air horn and bear spray at least. I don't know if they have the bear bangers or not. I didn't see anyone using them. Oh, I had to take a call. But so anyways, it's going along. They start revealing some of the uh, experience of the people. And some people have absolutely no experience and just wanted to challenge themselves. So, and I haven't looked for, but probably should have looked for a site saying what each person brought. I think there's only one person that brings a bow and arrow. And really on these shows, uh, what have you got for a main source of food? Well, you can't gather enough plant material to eat. This is just, they have to learn what plants are edible and then try to find them. And that's very seasonal too. So if you go into an area and you know about the spring edibles and you're into fall going into winter, you basically lucked out on most things. You can't find them or they're past the stage when you would eat them. So, basically it boils down to fishing, snaring. And if you're smart and you know how to use a bow and arrow, bringing a bow and arrow. Of course, what the bow and arrow does, you can go anytime while you're walking out and you see, a grouse or squirrel, they're close enough. You have a sense for what you can hit and not hit. You take the shot and then you've got some meat. Where without that bow and arrow, you're really limited to fishing and snaring. And these people just have horrible luck with snaring. And you know, it's something none of them, I think, have really done before. I know when they had the version of Alone where they had past people come up into the show and go against other people that were really seasoned. They got really high up as far as in the top maybe 3 or 4. This one woman, she was smart. She said to herself, well, I might get called again and get a chance to go back on the show. So she took a survival course and specifically targeted areas like snaring and things, the areas she was weak in. And she even had a multi-tool that she had modified for what she wanted, so to bring with her for the next time. Sure enough, she got called up. She ends up winning, But it was because, I think, as she said, in large part, because she took the survival course and basically learned some of the techniques that she wasn't good at from people that were good at it. So anyway, the United Kingdom one is good. And in our modern day, what gets a lot of people is just being alone. It's not they are, especially this group, doesn't seem like they're getting much food at all. And they don't list how much weight they had lost. And you can tell it's a little cheaper version. They actually call them when there's 4 left and say, you're in the top 4. And then they actually call the guy he's the last one standing, and they tell him, I assume they told him to put his camera on and they're going to call him at a certain time or whatever. And they call and he tells them. So they don't, like in the original Alone, they don't have a maid or significant other that bring him to kind of, meet and greet right there, So they've definitely cut some corners. They're going for 100,000 pounds, which, that fluctuates with American dollars, but you can look it up. And so anyway, we found the Alone United Kingdom, even though it was a relatively short period of time, we did enjoy it. Like I say, the Australian Alone was, I don't know, it just seems so silly because they put so many restrictions on the people and then some of the people were like very, I don't know what to say, politically correct or whatever. In other words, if they could get an animal to survive and they needed to, they wouldn't, because they didn't want to kill the animal. And that just doesn't work in survival. I mean, in survival, the best thing you could be doing is eating another animal. Nuts and berries are fine and all this stuff to add in, but for the calories and the fat that you need to sustain yourself, eating, something that moves, a fish, worms, all kinds of different things, grouse and a porcupine and things like that. I mean, that's what you really need to sustain yourself. But in the UK, what's taking some of the people down is the loneliness. And, people go into this thing for different reasons. And some are doing it because they know, in a way, they know they have weaknesses and they want to change that and challenge themselves. And what was nice about the last one in the UK, they take, again, like maybe the top 4 or 5 people, and they visit them 6 months later, and they each have something to say about the experience and everything. And that was very positive. So I really encourage you, if you like the regular Alone series, to check out Alone UK on the History app. And I guess if you want to laugh, you can try the Australian one, because like I say, they appear to just pick average people that are there on a whim, and then they have all these restrictions on them. So basically, there's some people that go right out someone loses someone can't figure out how to get a fire going with their fire steel. So they tap out. They need fire. They tap out rather than, try to work at this. But there you go. And hopefully we'll have another review after I figure out how to get Daily Motion to show up on a large TV. Maybe I can put it to our tablet, and we can watch it that way. But there you go. Bye.